Hello and welcome all to Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern. I will be your guide and navigator, Mr.E, taking you on this informative journey. Informative of what? We still don't know. But that's why I have had the good fortune to bring along with me the colorful commentary of our internet guru, my good friend Toast.
Butter is optional.
There you go. And to the other side, we have Private Snafu.
Good day, Mr. E. Good day, Toast.
Alright, now we're going to go down a traveling line of science fiction or science fiction and all that kind of good stuff.
Form and you don't recognize it.
Hell, the only thing they recognize about you guys is the flag on your shoulder and the color of your uniform. Yeah. Other than that, they know nothing about you.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Well, okay, most of them. It'd be fair to say most of them.
Yeah.
I've never met most of them.
So, anything else?
We could sing show tunes.
No, we couldn't.
Maybe you couldn't.
Do you even actually know any show tunes?
No.
I could start singing Cabin in the Woods.
What's that Shia LaBeouf video
Shia
on
LaBeouf
YouTube?
Live by Rob Cantor.
Yeah. Finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
what is it? You walk into the cabin and
copyrighted.
you think you're safe, but oh my god, there's Shia LaBeouf.
That's copyrighted.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we're gonna have to cut that, eh?
No, we can mention it, we just can't sing it.
Yeah, I think you can like half
Down.
the chorus. I think you can sing one chorus or half a verse.
That was, for the record, that was like half damn, half darn. Like,
I don't worry about that.
I say so. That's
I
what
worry about the big ones.
I was thinking, so that's what happens when you have to fix the Hoover Dam. So between a dam and a dart.
yeah. I mean,
Or
or it
there's
could
still
be...
a couple pillboxes out there.
Really?
Huh. A lot of people don't necessarily know that the Hoover Dam was actually in danger of being attacked by Nazis during World War II, but they specifically preserved, I think, 2 of them.
I don't know if they're really in danger of being attacked by Nazis.
Well, they thought they were.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that they thought were in danger of being attacked by Nazis.
Well, no, actually, I heard about that they had to... What the hell happened? They had something happen where they found out that that's one of the places that was targeted.
Yeah, I mean, there were plans, if things went better, again, if I remember correctly, to come up through Mexico.
Yeah.
Because Mexico really wasn't as big of a player.
No.
I'm assuming it was kind of along those lines, also in the fact that some of the South American areas had no problem harboring Germans.
And still don't, from what I hear.
South America.
Yeah. There are areas. There are jokes.
Yeah, there are urban legends of Hitler enjoying Mai Tais in Brazil.
Yeah.
Hitler doing some of the Colombian Bam Bam.
Can you imagine Hitler giving a speech all hopped up on coke?
People would be like, how are you still alive? It's all the coke! I'm preserved by all the coke. That's the only thing keeping me alive right now.
Oh, did I ever tell you the story about my uncle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was drinking.
Pickled by alcohol.
Which uncle was this now?
I can see his name.
Okay.
But no, one of my uncles, he used to drink a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean it was a case of beer for breakfast, case of beer for lunch, case of beer with dinner, and then a case of beer after dinner. He drank a lot of beer. One day, he wasn't feeling well.
Wait, four cases a day?
Roughly.
Jesus Christ.
Goes to the doctor because he's not feeling well. The doctor says, well, you have cancer. And I think it was like pancreatic, or might even have been liver cancer. And he's like, okay, what can you do? The doctor's like, nothing. There is nothing we can do. Like, we give you tops 3 months. So 6 months later, he goes back in, and the doctor tells him, seriously, we have no idea why you're alive. You should be dead right now. We think you have pickled yourself with the alcohol. And he's like, so I should keep drinking. Doctor's like, fine, whatever. It's not like it's going to hurt or anything. Like,
Is he still alive?
oh, God, no.
If I drink, I die. If I don't drink, I die.
That was basically his thought. He's like, what does it matter?
Well, you could start doing the Colombian Bam Bam just like Hitler.
Oh, boy.
But first you have to find a supplier. That's always the hard part. I mean, how do you find a supplier?
I don't know. I don't go out and buy that kind of stuff.
I mean, just in general. I mean, like, almost any illicit substance. I mean, how do you find your first supplier?
Go to your nearest high school after the school's done.
Oh, God. No, don't start offering that type of advice.
The funny part is, I understand what he means.
Oh, I know, too. But at the same time, no.
But I mean, it's just that question of, if you were going to start doing any form of illegal drug, I mean, where do you start? You kind of have to start by knowing someone, but how do you know somebody?
Well, you find some shady people and be like, hey.
The funny part is, some of the shadier people I know don't do drugs.
But they might know a guy who knows a guy who's even shadier who knows a guy.
No, here's the funnier one, is that we know people.
Well, I actually know a couple people. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a recovering heroin addict. Okay, how do you start that sort of thing? Oh well, see, it started with because I knew this person who was doing it, and they brought it up. So, yeah, but how do you bring that sort of thing up? Do you just sitting around one day going, man, I'm really bored. I'm gonna do some heroin.
Well, it just so happens I have a needle.
I know.
Going back to one of your videos, the cannonball, oh, I need some coke. Got you covered. Not that type of coke. Well played. And so, space, B, space, it, not Soviet, as in the United Socialist Soviet Republics.
I was thinking more along the lines of the T. Soviet.
Oh, yeah. See, I was thinking Mr. T?
You... No, for a second I had to process what he was saying, and then I realized that what he was saying is that somehow someone would misinterpret what he said as Soviet.
I know Soviet and Soviet, I mean...
It took me a minute to realize where you were going. Or I should say, it took me a minute to realize where you were coming from. I already knew where you were going, but I didn't know why you were going.
He's coming from Soviet Russia.
In Soviet Russia.
No, you have to pronounce it with the B. It's Soviet Russia.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be our new thing.
What, Soviet Russia?
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, someone else already has that kind of locked up right now.
Yeah.
No, they have in Soviet Russia. Locked up like a gulag.
In Soviet Russia... Waldo finds you.
No, I was just thinking Doctor Who. What are you doing? I'm trying to find Wally. It's not a Where's Wally book. Are you certain? Maybe you just haven't found him yet.
Okay. Is that one of the recent ones?
No. I want to say that was Listen. That's about a season and a half back.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I really kind of stopped watching that after the current Doctor, pulled in the tank and all the Viking people started saying he came in, riding on top of a tank, playing the electric guitar, and all the Viking people were saying, dude. And I was like, mind screwed.
No, the funnier one about that is do you realize that actually is Peter Capaldi playing guitar?
Huh. I did not know that.
He used to be in a punk band.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone else had pointed out that did you know that all of the current actors to play the Doctor have previously played a crossdresser?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
On a segue, if any of you guys... if any of you guys... once I went to a Five Finger Death Punch concert, but 6 a.m. was playing, and the lead singer for 6 a.m. looks a lot like the current Doctor.
This takes forever to load.
I mean, it's just me, he kind of has a gray hair, and that might be it, and we're a little bit farther away, but he kind of, in a way, almost looked like him.
From 80 feet away, that singer looks like Peter Capaldi. That's a tree!
Close enough.
Get glasses!
Actually, I do from the army, but I don't use them. Because it's only for my left eye.
Are they the fish eyes?
No. No, they're no longer the BCGs, birth control glasses.
Birth control glasses?
Yep, that's what they used to be called. Oh, God.
Oh,
wow.
Here, this one ain't as bad. You could almost see through mine, right?
Yeah, but no, in the right eye of mine, it's just a piece of plastic, and then on the left eye, it's actually a prescription because I had my eye scratched, and I don't know, I keep on losing a little bit of vision. That guy in the center right there. I mean, he kind of almost looks like the Doctor.
No.
I don't know. I see it.
I'd say he looks a lot more like Kiefer Sutherland.
I was saying this one looks a lot like Billy Idol from the 80s.
I can see it.
I don't know. You guys see your own thing, but I see what I...
That's like going back to YouTube. Someone said that Mark Fischbach, looks like the lead singer from 21 Pilots.
I don't really... I mean, I heard the story behind the reason they called their band 21 Pilots, and I love that story. I mean, I completely stand with what they mean, but I just don't like their music.
I haven't really heard them, or if I have, I didn't know it.
Oh, no, but I don't like their music, but supposedly, the story behind their band name was there was a play called 21 Pilots, where a manufacturer for, planes during World War II made some bad parts for airplanes, so he had to make the decision... Well, do I take back those parts and remake them and make, I personally lose a lot of money for this and maybe can't feed my family for a few months? Or do I still sell these pieces to the government and risk the bad pieces going into a plane and killing people? And it turns out that like 21 planes went down and killed 21 pilots of the planes that went down. So that was like their inspiration. They only want to make good music at the best they can. That's their inspiration.
So it's somewhat of an homage to...
Kind of, yeah. And I mean, I think it's an interesting story. I mean, I love the band name and for what it stands for, but I just can't get behind the music.
Well, you're not on VH1 anymore?
Oh.
I don't get it.
VH1 used to have a program called Behind the Music.
Oh my god.
Where it would tell the stories about why certain songs were done, what was going on at the time.
Why certain bands fell apart. By the way, don't ever look at VH1 Behind the Music with Fleetwood Mac, because that is just a ridiculously long, drawn-out story about how this band of people who were basically married to each other at one point or another created the music that they created because it was their way of arguing and or fighting.
Was that the band that made the You Can Go Your Own Way?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that story once. Probably not as long and drawn out, but I've heard the basis of that story.
Right.
And then, they made a bunch of other songs where
Christine McVie wrote a song called You Make Loving Fun that was actually about an electrical engineer that she was having an affair with.
Nice.
So,
just imagine, like, your wife is singing the song as you're playing the electric guitar to this or something, and then, like, all of a sudden you're like, wait, what did she just say? Like,
well, no, because the thing about it is she never actually mentions the dude's name or anything in the song. So you're playing along thinking, oh, this is such a lovely song. And then you're playing it for the next 30 years, realizing what the actual context of it is.
And then you're like, I hate my life.
Because you're basically singing about how small your penis is.
One of the guys I used to work with told us a story about, is it Walk This Way? I'm trying to remember which Guns N' Roses song it is.
Wouldn't be Guns N' Roses.
Sweet Child of Mine.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be Guns N' Roses if it was Walk This Way. I was trying to remember which song it
was. Because the opening to it, the very iconic opening.
The guitar riff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was telling us, it's like, Slash absolutely hates the song.
Really? Oh, because it's the one that's most requested?
No, because that opening, according to this guy that I worked with, it's an exercise. It's a guitar warm-up.
Oh my god.
So is White Stripes Fun song they made. Smoke on the Water is also one.
Well, the question is, I mean, did it become an exercise after the song became popular, or is it an exercise before the song became popular?
Smoke on the Water I'd buy was an exercise before it became
It's
popular.
only one string meant to be played with 2 fingers. Because just think, it's open, hammer on the lowest chord, 3rd fret, open, hammer on the 5th fret, open, 3rd fret, open, 6th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, open.
But at the same time, you look at Smoke on the Water,
yes,
and you realize they don't care that it was an exercise because the rock and roll industry was so involved heavily in drugs and alcohol at that point.
They were probably so stoned they could only play.
Well, no, but that's the point where it is famously prevalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was trying to think of... From there, maybe you think of, rockers and all the drugs they've done. So that made me think of Keith Richards. That made me think of Mick Jagger. I was trying to remember if it was him and his daughter. But there's some newscast not that long ago.
Okay.
Where they're out doing like a weather like Times Square type thing. But it wasn't really Times Square. It's just close.
Right.
And they're like, okay, we'll talk to a person on the street. They turn, and it's this famous rocker and his daughter, who just happened to be walking by. They're like, oh, hey, what do you think about this weather? Oh, well, you see. And they just said they're talking for a while. 5 minutes, just talking about the weather and, what's going on, how it affects people, and just that moment, well, and everyone, if you don't need to be out, you shouldn't be out, we need everyone to be safe, and, have a really nice day. They just walk away. And the guy's like, that was, yeah.
It's one of those where, did he realize midway?
No, he realized as soon as he turned around and saw who he was talking to, he's like, oh, yeah. Because he was expecting it not to go well.
Right.
Because some people, have attitudes about themselves.
Right.
And this was just the, oh, hey, no problem. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Being rural people. Imagine that.
Yep.
Quote, she goes buys cocaine.
I don't think I can find it on YouTube, but the Barbershop Quartet Fred performing that. If you could find it, it's actually really good.
Like good as in, oh my gosh, they played this well, or good as in...
Barbershop Quartet.
You're thinking of, you gotta remember, this is a Barbershop Quartet that Penn and Teller specifically requested to open for them.
I don't think they're opening.
Yeah, they opened for them during one of their Vegas spectacular show or whatever they were doing for a while.
Penn and Teller's Sin City Spectacular.
Yeah,
they weren't an opening act.
Okay, they did the opening for them, I think it was, or something.
They did do the opening. There was other stuff before them. They were an act.
Oh.
They were a booked act.
Oh.
They weren't an opener.
I thought they were an opener.
No, because they were actually after Richard Greco performing a vampire poem, and just before Penn and Teller performed like their closing trick.
Ah,
It was like way towards the end. If I could ever find a copy, and
Because I've only ever seen the clip, so I thought it was way earlier in the show.
I've gone and looked because I actually wanted to purchase a copy of that episode.
Okay, just that episode?
If I could find the whole series, I'd go for that too, but I can't find anything.
The only thing I've ever been able to find is Penn and Teller's Bullshit, which is a Showtime property, I believe.
I've never seen their Fool Us on YouTube.
I've seen Fool Us on YouTube, but I haven't seen it for sale.
I haven't seen it on sale either. I haven't looked for it. I've just been watching it on YouTube. I find it interesting that they have, and I can't remember her name.
Allison Hannigan?
Yep, that they have her as host for one of the seasons.
Yeah, they got rid of, what was it, John? Was that the name?
I don't remember. The guy was kind of funny.
The British guy.
Yeah, I don't think Hannigan's is funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they kind of went for somebody who isn't going to have anything to say.
And that was just it, because I'd read a comment where someone was like...
And that's nothing against Allison Hannigan. She's a great performer when she has a script. But you let her go off the cuff and she's just kind of...
I think it's less about letting her go off the cuff and more about she is a performer, not a host.
Right.
She's not an MC.
Right.
Whereas the guy they had doing it, I think he was originally like a stand-up comic.
Right.
And almost all stand-up comics and almost all like stage magicians have had to be an MC at some point in time.
Right.
Just because it's almost required, because,
Right.
you know, money and needing to eat. So they're used to it, at least being able to get up there and just kind of rattle off stuff, and if it flops, oh well.
Yeah, they could throw it out there and they could get a feel for the audience and things like that. And it could be that she signed up for this because she wanted to stretch her wings, and more power to her. But get some coaching, because she didn't seem to have the presence that she needed.
Yeah.
All right, well, on that note of fact, validation, and verification, any other shuns we should add to that? Parting words, Snafu?
I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
Okay, and toast?
I can't believe it's not butter.
All right, then. Once again, this has been your navigator and guide, Mr. E. Thank you for joining Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern. So that's it.
You've got